were being invited, because Atiku was coming around to campaign. And then they began to look at, how he had visited the Emir of Kano, had visited the Oba of Lagos, had visited the Oni of Ife, and many others. So why invite the Obi of Onitsha to come and meet you? Well, he was strict. I wonder if he went anyway, because it was, kind of, a short story. But they were also given 300,000 naira for coming. You know what I'm trying to say? So that also goes to show that the Igbo race is still being downplayed. And if you could do that, then you could do also to the Idoma race, which I belong to. But I think as a collective, we are all Nigerians and we are equal to everything Nigeria has. Nobody is superior to the other. So that statement, honestly, will be the surest way for the Igbo man to become president. Is the Igbo man not qualified? Is a competent Igbo man with capacity not in the race too? Am I saying something? Well, so we thank God for that.
Most times when Southeasterners complain of marginalization, these are some of the things. Take a look at the Southeast. Not even a functioning refinery. But before now, we have a refinery in faraway Kaduna. You are from the Southeast. If Nigeria is serious about decongesting Lagos, if Nigeria is serious about providing equal economic opportunities to other regions of the country, we should not even be debating whether Onitsha deserves a port. God, in His wisdom, created River Niger to flow through that part. He has actually done 50% of the job. The remaining 50% is for us to dredge it and ensure it works. But because of the kind of politics we play, everything would rather go to my zone, let the other zones suffer. After all, they did not support me. That's exactly why we are where we are today. We're looking forward to a time when a president would emerge and look at the country as his whole constituency. What would I do in this part of the country that will bring them at par with Lagos, for instance? If you go to Lagos, people complain of traffic, logjam, what have you. Somebody will tell you that he brought in container from China. It took him 3 weeks. But to move the container from the Tinkan Island port to maybe Ikeja, for instance, it takes the person 3 months. Why should it be? And to think we have other options. A state like Kogi is supposed to have a seaport or a port. Onitsha, you come to the south. Why is on a port not that functional?
Why is Calabar?
Where is Calabar? Exactly.
What about Warri?
Exactly.
You have a whole lot to talk about. The fact again remains that if we are serious about the oneness of Nigeria, these are the things to look at. Rural urban migration, smaller towns to bigger town migration, depreciation of value in terms of our infrastructure and all that. All this is because of lack of good handling by successive governments. The thing we need to say here is this. Look at the East-West Road. It remains on the book till tomorrow. We had a minister of transportation, initially transportation and aviation, whatever that meant. I thought they were all transportation, just that one was air transportation. Erotimi Amechi, who was there? A Goodluck Jonathan was there. The East-West Road was not done. Port Harcourt harbors the terminus of the rail line that cuts across the entire southern east up to the middle belt of Nigeria, down to the connecting point, and then to Maiduguri and the rest of them. Who has been able to do anything about it? So it's a question of using what belongs to the people to promise the people what they deserve, whereas it is their own right to have it. You are only given the opportunity to stay there for a period of time to harness this thing for proper use by the people. So no politician should begin to use our resources to promise us and expect that we should be thanking him or her. It is not proper. I think it is time Nigerians say, look, let's look for an option. People who will give us that which God has given us, as per, yes, you are given the mandate to do it. That's the way I see it.
Well, let's go to Rivers State, where an appeal court in Port Harcourt has set aside the judgment of a federal high court that sacked all APC candidates for the 2023 general elections, including the party's governorship candidate, Tonye Cole. The three-man special panel of the Court of Appeal in their judgment, delivered by Justice Mohammed Lawal Shuaibu, said George Olu and 5 others who instituted a case did not exhaust the internal party mechanism before instituting the suit. Shuaibu held that the respondents failed to participate in the APC Congress and so did not have any cause of action and local standby to go to court. Shuaibu set aside the judgment against APC and awarded the sum of 500,000 naira each for the 3 cases as cost against the appeal respondents in favor of APC. The Federal High Court, presided over by Justice Emmanuel Bile on 25th October, sacked the APC candidates following a suit filed by George Olu and 5 others who alleged that they were excluded from the party's delegates' congresses.
Well, this case is not an ongoing case, so we can talk about it. From the layman's eyes, I saw a judge that put himself as part of the case, not somebody who is ruling. Except that I did not hear the arguments put by both sides as to know whether some of the things he agreed with, which formed the judgment's pronouncement, would have been the prayers by those who were defending the case. Because even annulling the name RIA, giving costs, and even saying you are a non-governmental organization, what is your involvement in an issue that concerns politics? I thought non-governmental organizations are supposed to be safety nets for the people where wrong is being done to them here and there, be it environmental, be it social, be it political, or whatever. So I saw the judge aligning himself with one side of the case and making his pronouncements based on that, because all the rulings, as far as I'm concerned, were against the plaintiffs, and indeed even some of the prayers that were not made, from the look of things, were part of the judgment, up to the point of declaring that RIA should cease to exist and that the Corporate Affairs Commission should take up the name of RIA and do what it should do with it, and even giving costs to the plaintiffs and all that. Well, this is just the Court of Appeal, right? It is quite possible that they will go to the Supreme Court if the law allows it, because I know there are points where some cases have to stop at the appeal court. I don't think this has stopped yet. That is by the way. But again, it tells the story of the APC in the last couple of years up until this time, even in Abia State, where we have a whole lot of litigations going into the election and sometimes affecting the fortunes of APC. We'll wait and see.
That's right. Well, this is not the first time we're seeing such a ruling. Most times, judges, for some reasons best known to them, go out of their way to grant prayers, not sought by parties to the case. This is where the NJC and even the Chief Justice of Nigeria should step in. There is need to sanitize the judicial process. Okay, we can't continue like this. It erodes the little faith and trust that Nigerians have in that organ or arm of government. When people approach a court just because the judge may feel some form of empathy or sympathy for one of the parties, he goes out of his way to ensure that that party has every prayers being requested for and even adds jara to the prayers. We shouldn't be.
Well, it's akin to a judgment passed in Abia State not too long ago by a magistrate court. And those who know said that case was not within the jurisdiction of a magistrate court in the first place, involving 2 political, governorship aspirants. I don't want to name their names because they may still be going higher as far as courts are concerned. But having been ruled upon by a magistrate court, somebody jokingly said that maybe the plaintiff should have gone to, a customary court, for a case of that nature. I think we should be very careful. Don't forget also that not too long ago, during the Anambra primaries, an election that was to take place in Anambra, some people were instituting cases in Kano, in Kebbi. And thankfully enough, the court said, no, go to that court in Anambra State, go there and let them adjudicate. Why taking a case involving an election that is to take place in Anambra all the way to the northern part of Nigeria? Well, you may say there are courts of coordinate jurisdiction. You know grammar too much for these people. Courts of coordinate jurisdiction. But in this case, there is also jurisdiction that stands on its own before you add coordinate or
in coordinates.
Oyibo too much. All right, let's move ahead now. The EFCC chairman, Bawa, that's Abdul Rashid Bawa,